Now we stay on this topic. Russian defense forces have claimed to have shot down 139 Ukrainian drones overnight, according to the Russian Defense Ministry. Meanwhile, the Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has reported 6 deaths and at least 17 injuries after Russian strikes targeted cities and energy infrastructure across Ukraine. Zelensky also said the residential buildings were hit, with fires breaking out in Zaporizhia and damage reported in Kyiv. The attacks impacted several regions, including Kyiv, Odessa, and Dnipro. Ukraine's air defense forces and drone interceptors were actively responding. President Zelensky has accused Russia of ignoring diplomacy and called for stronger sanctions and more military aid from international allies. Now we go back to our guest discussion with retired Major General Sudhakarji. He joins us as an international affairs expert, joins us live from New Delhi. Thank you very much, Major General, for staying with us. Major General, now looking back, we saw statements from President Trump. He was calling this a previous or latest calls or his talks with Russia as productive, but without reaching any deal or any ceasefire agreement, nor plans of meetings. So what do you think productive means over there?
Shobha, thank you for asking a question. I can't help but laughing because now it has become such a routine, predictable question in all the channels is that it's more or less like a parody. See, it's a comedy. Each one is turning out to a big comedian, including Donald Trump. He also doesn't know what he's speaking. And perhaps he is closing his eyes to his own people on the streets. 7 million people on the streets of America and 2,700 cities. It speaks volumes about his policy and his mindset. So coming back straight to the question that you were saying, what productive end? The taste of pudding lies in eating. In the instant case, the cherry on the icing is actually stopping the damn war. And he himself has been saying that within 24 hours of his assumption of presidency, he would bring the mindless conflict to an end. Has he done anything? Has he gone anywhere closer? Alaska visit was, Putin actually had a field day in turning things as per his terms. He just came and he explained the history or geography something to Donald Trump, and Donald Trump was absolutely zapped. He didn't know which side to go because that is where the actual problem is. The Americans are not keen to stop the war. When I say Americans, I'm sorry, I'm using this for lack of correct expression. It is the deep state. Donald Trump, no matter how noble his intention and objective would have been during the election campaigning, post assumption of his appointment as a President 2.0, he has unfortunately been hijacked by the deep state. He started talking the language of the deep state. He's no longer talking like Donald Trump. That's what I keep saying in many channels, including your channel. No president of USA till date has ever been original and been able to implement his vision and his conviction as per his thought process, the way he actually did campaigning in the elections and came into the power with some noble objective. No precedent. It has been hijacked a number of times or several times or a million times by the deep state, and that is what exactly happening. There is no productive dialogue that can ever take place. The only way to make meaningful, substantive, productive dialogue is stop the damn war as is where is basis. Stop firing. No firing from any gun. Freeze. Number two, pull them back by 5 to 10 kilometers. Number three, have a neutral force. And that neutral force should be given that this is the point or alignment along which, call it as line of control or line of actual control, 5 kilometers onto either side, neither of the forces will come closer. Keep a surveillance team on the eyes, keep an eye on both those stakeholders and make sure that they are not breached. If they are breached, then this neutral force has to be put under the United Nations banner, given adequate chapter 7, that is, they have to enforce law and order, peace and harmony. If push comes to shove, and if kinetic means have to be applied, they should be allowed to do that in order to maintain law and order and some kind of tranquility. and peace along the border. This is the only way to stop the war. If you dilly-dally, at times you say you are giving Tomahawk missile, the second day you are saying you are imposing sanction, third day you decide that, oh, that sanction is going to have a detrimental impact in our defense industry, you please quietly just remove it. This is no way of bringing, some sense into the geopolitics and this mindless conflict. I think this drama should stop. The Europeans should do well if they sit down seriously and find a practical and pragmatic solution to go ahead in this particular issue. Back to you, Asu.
Yes, indeed. Major General, thank you very much for sharing that insight and staying with us throughout this whole topic. Thank you very much. Now we move on to our next news. We move on to U.S.